The piece I really want to dive into here is the realization that we were physically in our grandmother's womb. So, and when our grandmother was pregnant with our mother, we were inside our mother's womb already. We were already being created as an egg inside our mother before she was born. So physically, there we are inside our grandmother, and starting to think about, okay, so what was happening? Hi, Rachel. So what was happening in our grandmother's life while she was pregnant with our mother? Now, some of us might consciously know what that is, and a lot of us might not, like whether we've known our grandparents or not. Like for me, I was extremely close to my grandmother. I lived with my grandmother for a long time, so I was really close to her. But actually, and she's passed 10 years ago, actually I have zero idea like what was going on for her when she was pregnant with my mom. I know that my mom was the third child. That's about as much as I know, right? So unconsciously, I have received information of what was happening for her while she was pregnant, and I don't know anything about it. I don't know the stories, but I know that somehow it's impacting me. It's a DNA imprint in me that says that this is my story, because when I was in her womb, I was experiencing it as me. I didn't know the difference between her and me. I was experiencing it as myself and receiving that DNA imprinting from her. So there is a part of me that believes that's my story. So for most of us, if you look back to what was happening when our grandparents were around, and like have a feel into this, if you want to share into this space, like share here, like what you're kind of aware of. But for many of us, our grandparents were living in a time of various types of devastation. So for a lot, it was poverty. For a lot, there were a lot of children and a lot of mouths to feed, and not knowing actually like where was that meal going to come from? Was there going to be enough food for the family to feed them? Was there going to be enough work to be able to bring in the money to care for the family? And you know, they lived in a different time as well, where whether you see this, you can look at this as both good and bad. You know, there wasn't really credit. So if you didn't have the money, you didn't have the money.